When I read the statements credited to Mr. Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, I wasn't in any way taken aback.
So you were not surprised?
No. He is a guy who has absolute contempt for Africans. That is the reason why he took on South Africa before Nigeria. But those Nigeria and South Africa are the two leading African countries. And so for him, we're either a shithole country or a disgraceful country or whatever. Now, I'm going to look at the problems from the human rights perspective, not a diplomat. And my own position is that Mr. Trump has lied to the whole world by alleging Christian genocide in Nigeria.
So it's a lie.
Without any evidence to back it up. Now, he said about 3,100 people have been killed, Christians have been killed in Nigeria. It's unfortunate and nobody can support even the killing of a citizen of this country. But when you look at the narrative of Mr. Trump and match it with what is on ground, the killers, be it terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, and so on and so forth, or people who simply call gunmen, do not care about your religion. And many of them care about the ransom you are going to pay. So it's not about your religion. Now, in the Middle Belt, particularly Benue and Plateau states, where this narrative, this campaign has been prosecuted for quite some time, those who are killing there are either killing to expropriate land or killing to feed their animals. When you have open grazing, you know, instead of losing sleep over Mr. Trump's statement, for me, the government has a duty to look inward. Where have you made errors? Government must be honest. According to Professor Jibril Ibrahim, a respected intellectual, he has said that this campaign of Christian genocide in Nigeria has been prosecuted for 8 years without any challenge from the government. Guys are going to the US and coming back, spreading this narrative about Christian genocide in Nigeria without any challenge. Two, if we look at the solutions that have been preferred and agreed upon by members of the political class in Nigeria to address some of these problems. When Governor, now Senator Simon Lalong, was the governor of the Southern Forum, and the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu SN was the chair. No, when he was the chair of the Northern Forum, and Akeredolu was the chair of the Southern Forum. As separate fora, these two organizations, Governors Forum or Governors Fora, the two, agreed that open grazing should be banned in Nigeria. Have they been banned? On my way to Abuja yesterday, I saw cattle on the street of Abuja, on the airport road. Nigeria is the only country in the world.
Let me tell you where you find them the most. The 3 arms zone. You find them grazing along the National Assembly Road. That's where you find them the most. Now, so in case you are looking for them.
What are the solutions that these guys have preferred? Is there should be ranches established in different parts of the country where you have an enclosure for the animals to graze. People will plant grass. Some will supply water. In that enclosure, the children of the herders will go to school. But what is going on is that people will leave Sokoto or even Mali. Bringing cattle to Nigeria is not done in any other African country. So why have the members of the ruling class and the government refused to allow ranches to be established in different parts of the country? That's number one. Number two, how can you have a modern state in any part of the world that allows bandits and criminal gangs to kidnap citizens and without any attempt to identify and locate them? Family members of victims of kidnapping are forced to raise huge sums of money, and then you pay bandits ransom. How? How will the government allow that? The moment they're asking for money, they are no longer using, because they have no access to SIM cards now. They no longer use their own phone. They will use the phone of the victims to call members of their family. And the members of the families, distressed, confused, go to the police or the security agencies. Our loved ones have been kidnapped. And they will ask you, have you been contacted? Yes. This is the number. Today, technology has advanced to the extent that wherever a phone call is made, you can locate a particular place. So what do you expect security people to do? It's not to leave the family members to be looking for money to pay ransom. It is to storm the hideout of the criminals and ensure that you are able to rescue victims of kidnapping. So unless you do that, the business becomes very lucrative. And that is why we're in trouble. So we must look at this problem. Why have we brought this embarrassment to ourselves as a people? That we are being treated as a neo-colony of the United States of America. We cannot even challenge Mr. Trump. How dare you? Where is this hypocrisy coming from? Unknown to most Nigerians, there are more Arab Christians than Jewish Christians. The Jews do not believe in Jesus Christ. In fact, in the entire population of Israel, only 1.9% subscribe, and majority of them are Arab Christians. In Gaza, at the last camp before the war, there were no less than 1,000 Christians in Gaza alone. But what has Mr. Trump done is to support not just the attack on the Palestinians, the killing of the Palestinians, including children and women, launching attacks on rockets on hospitals. Mr. Trump is supporting the military onslaught on the Palestinian people in spite of the indictment by the International Court of Justice that this is genocide, and by the ICC, this is crimes against humanity. What has Mr. Trump done? So tell Mr. Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, I want you to destroy, raise Gaza to the rumbles, and then give me the place because I want to build an estate in Gaza. That guy is currently planning to attack Venezuela. 80% of the people of Venezuela are Christian. Not just Christian, they're Catholics. Now, Mr. Trump is planning to attack them. In the United States of America itself, between 2020 and now, 2025, not less than 280,000 people have been killed in America by gunmen. Those of us in the human rights community are also launching an attack on the United States. Stop these reckless killings. Because the gun, they can stop it. But those who are in charge of producing weapons and guns, the NRA will not allow it. It's a very powerful lobby group in America. On the day that Mr. Trump was threatening to attack Nigerians, I think one church was attacked in one of the states. 5 people were killed and several others injured by a gunman. Mr. Trump did not even make a statement. So the whole thing is hypocritical, is beyond killings in Nigeria. But for us as a people, and for the government of Nigeria, you must now take Mr. Trump's warning as a wake-up call. And I can see evidence of that. The government is now giving information to the public and to the international community of efforts being made to wage a counter-insurgency operation. We are now being told how many people have been taken to court. But we're also getting something very wrong.
Well, the truth is that both the government and the agencies, the masses, are confused as to know if this is genocide or not genocide. But yes, I'd like to play a video for us to watch. Listen to this man from the north and the way he analyzed this as from his own perspective. He's a northerner. Let's take a watch at this video.
In fact, in 2014, Nigerian opposition party, then the APC, were in the White House seeking for the same help on the same Christian genocide as a fallout of the Chibok girls. This is established. The second thing again is that even most recently, we acquired $346 million worth of weaponry from the US, and we are trying to send our military personnel to go and train as a factor of diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and the US. And US has been consistently, in addition to other partners, listed as supporting countries to help us in eradication of terrorism. And don't forget, it is a United Nations Convention on Counterterrorism that empowers the United States to become the global front or focal point in fighting against terrorism. And wherever a word terrorism was defined in a given area, that means US have right to protect. They call it responsibility to protect R2P. They have right to invoke that R2P to get into that country and destroy that terrorism. Yeah. So what we should show in our own case in Nigeria is that we should show commitment and willingness to partner to eliminate the threat of terrorism, not completely condemn a hand that is coming to help us and then put a motion forward. We can negotiate with them. We can tell them, give us the weapons responsibly. We can discuss with them and acknowledge that this genocide is taking place. Yes, they say Christian genocide. Now we can justify to them that, look, it's not only genocide, it's not only Christians, Muslims also are affected.
But do you agree with the categorization that it's a genocide?
I actually, when I look at the damages, when you look at the total number of the people that have been killed over time in Nigeria, and they are killed defenseless in villages, sleeping in their homes, then what can you call this, for God's sake?
You think there's a genocide?
I think it's actually pure genocide, because you just come and kill people. Just like that. And this thing has been happening. Several villages in Katsina destroyed. Several villages in Sokoto gone. Several villages in Zamfara.
The truth is that some of these our leaders are very confused. Yes, the leaders are confused. So these are our elites. They are confused. They don't know what is genocide. Yes. Now, if you have watched this video up until this point, and then you listen to this man that just spoke now, you understand how he explained it and what genocide is all about. And that is it. You could still recall that in 2014, it was this same group of persons that led protests to UH, begging them to come and help that Christians are being pied in Nigeria. And now, what is the difference? This man now has decided to take interest on it, and they are trying to politicize it. Trump has interest in our resources. Trump has interest in this. Trump wants to take over the country. Trump wants to do that. Trump does not like Tinubu. Trump likes Tinubu. Why don't Trump? They are now beginning to make comparison. You cannot tell a man where to focus. You cannot tell somebody where to focus interest or to help or where he want to come in. You cannot decide for that person. You are not comparing and not saying, look at Gaza. Well, Gaza that needed this. Gaza that did that. Gaza that did. Why didn't Trump take his military there and all of that? Now, you cannot tell them to decide or decide for them where they should channel their energy to. The truth is that this thing is happening in this country. And yes, let them come in and help. You liaise with them. You understand? You connive with them. You work with them. You beg with them, you tell them, okay, give us this equipment. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's see how we can be able to, whether you like it or not, these things are happening. Check on these places that these things is happening. You look at the number, just like this last person that spoke just explained. Look at the number of persons that are being pied, and look at the type of people that are being pied there. You find out that these are Christians. They are dominating. Yes, so I still understand that perhaps, yes, there can be some Muslims among them that, that have been fallen victim, that have fallen victim of this same situation. But the other part, the Christians are more in number than the Muslims. You go to the just Plateau State, look at the community that just wipe a whole community. They go to churches. The last time they attacked church in Owo, the last time they attacked different, just like that. And then you are now saying that this is not genocide. What is it then? Is it today that Christians are being persecuted in this country? I think they should just allow Trump to do what he has to do. I don't know why they are scared. Why would they be scared? Why would they be scared? As ever in this country, Muslim community rise up to say that Muslims are being bad in this country. Has it ever happened in this country that Muslims rise up against terrorism, that Muslims rise up against something that is against them? Has it ever happened?